while East Malaysia covers about 198,847 square kilometers, or also known as 60%. And then from the total land area, 1,200 square kilometers, or 0.37% of Malaysia is made up of waters such as lakes, rivers, or other internal waters. It's very big if we see in the ratio itself. Aside from that, Malaysia also has a total coastline of 4,675 kilometers, and Peninsular Malaysia has 2,068 kilometers, while Malaysia has 2,607 kilometers of coastline. Last but not least, Malaysia is also the 29th longest coastline in the world. Okay, the two distinct parts of Malaysia separated from each other by the South China Sea, which is the peninsular side, and also the Borneo Island side, share a largely similar landscape in that both West Peninsula and the East Malaysia feature coastal plains rising to hills and mountains. Yes, our country has a lot of hills and mountains indeed. It's very different than some of the countries which has a very, I can say a plain land compared to us. We have a really mountainish structure itself. All right, next. These are the additional information about Malaysia. So our highest point would be Mount Kinabalu in the Sabah, which is located in the Borneo Island side of the Malaysia, which is across the South China Sea from where I live or even Dr. Lee live. So it's very far from us indeed. The highest point is about 4,095.2 meters. Isn't that amazing how high the altitude is? And also the lowest point of Malaysia is at the Indian Ocean, which is in the middle of the Andaman Sea and also the Malacca Strait and also the South China Sea itself with 0 meters of altitude. And our longest river is the mighty Rajang River located in the Sarawak area. Sarawak is one of the famous place in Malaysia indeed. I will explain in detail of some places that you can visit in Sarawak, which is in the Borneo Island side of the Malaysia itself. And aside from that, we also have 2 large lakes in Malaysia. One is man-made lake, which is known as Kenyir Lake. This is the Kenyir Lake. It's a man-made. Can you imagine? This is a man-made. It looks really realistic, isn't it? And this is the very, this is an original lake, which is not man-made, a natural lake, which is the Bura Lake. Both of the lake is located in Pahang area, Pahang district of Malaysia. And last but not least, is the exclusive economic zone of Malaysia. Maybe some of you don't know if you haven't been to Malaysia, or you read about Malaysia. If you know, you don't. Malaysia is actually a country. This is the Kenyir Lake. It's a man-made. Can you imagine? This is a man-made. It looks really realistic. Dr. Lee, this is a very this is an original lake, which is not man-made, a natural lake, which is the Bura Lake. Both of the lake is located in Pahang area, Pahang district of Malaysia. And last but not least, it's the exclusive economic zone of Malaysia. Maybe some of you don't know if you haven't been to Malaysia, or you read about Malaysia. If you know, you don't. Malaysia is actually a country. This is the Kenyir Lake. It's a man-made. Can you imagine? This is a man-made. It looks really realistic. Dr. Lee, this is a very Right, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so back to the economic zone. Malaysia is very well known with the economic zone of, we have a petroleum. Our country invests a lot in the petroleum area, which is in our ocean side. There's like petroleum place. We have few companies that develops petroleum in our country, such as like Petronas, and we also have Shell. We also have others that also come from the Dubai side and others who invest in our country as well, especially in the Borneo side, because the area of the ocean that Malaysia owns is a bit big there. And then meanwhile, there's also one corridor of the country which is known as Iskandar Malaysia. Iskandar Malaysia is something that the country is developing right now towards the 2025 vision. We plan to make Malaysia a very invest country that move forward, just like Japan. So there's something called Iskandar Malaysia, which builds up the country so that the socio-economic is more stable in the future, especially in the pandemic, of course. All right. So now I would like to recommend some places to visit. Now, this is the time that everyone have been waiting for, of course. let's say the pandemic has ended, please do come to our country, because especially to these places, I guarantee. So first is the Petronas Twin Towers. The Petronas Towers, or the Petronas Twin Towers, are twin skyscrapers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. According to the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitats official definition and ranking, they were the tallest buildings in the world from 1998 to 2004, when they were surpassed by Taipei 101. I believe you know where Taipei 101. Yes, very much. Thank you. Yeah, the Twin Tower is actually very, very huge. If you actually stand down there at the ground, you can see it up there very, very high. The architect for this building is Cesar Pelli, and this building contains about 88 floors, including 5 floors underground. Yeah. So next, Malacca Historical City. This is a very historical city for the Malaysian, especially everyone in the country from anywhere from the country. Of course, they know where Malacca is situated. When the British succeeded in extending their influence over the Malay Peninsula, the city soon became an area of development under the Strait settlements as part of the British Empire. The development and burgeoning prosperity were, however, halted when the Japanese arrived in World War II and occupied the area from 1942 to 1945. During the occupation, many of the city's residents were taken and forced to construct the Death Railway in Burma, present-day known as Myanmar. After the war, the city was returned to the British and remained as the capital of Malacca. The status as a capital remained until the formation of Malaysia in 1963, and in 2008, it was listed together with Georgetown of Penang as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its long history. I believe all of you have heard about UNESCO World Heritage Site, and I'm proud to be Malaysian, as some of the places in Malaysia is acknowledged by the UNESCO itself, especially the Malacca Historical City. The economy of Malacca City is largely based on tourism. As the economic center of the state of Malacca, it also hosts several international conferences and trade fairs. The city is located along the maritime Silk Road. I bet you heard about Silk Road. Silk Road, usually, if we learn in history, that involve the China country, the India country, and every country around the Asia continent itself. Proposed by China in 2013, among the tourist attraction in Malacca are Porta de Santiago. Porta de Santiago is this one. You can see down here. It's also known as a Famosa. And then we have Jonker Walk. Jonker Walk is nearby here, but this is the one of the Strait of Malacca, the river. And then Little India, we also have Portuguese settlement, because Portuguese used to come to our country before we even achieved the independent. And then we have Stadius. This building is called Stadius. And then we have Maritime Museum, which has the submarines that were left before this. And then we also have the Christchurch. The Stadius is here and the Christchurch is here. And Malacca Sultanate Palace Museum, which is somewhere down here. And then we also have Taming Sari Tower, which is here. Yeah, these are like some of the attraction in our Malacca Historical City itself. All right, next, moving on to Putrajaya, one of the city that I really like in Malaysia. Putrajaya is a planned city and the federal administrative center of the Malaysian capital. The seat of the federal government was shifted in 1999 from Kuala Lumpur to Putrajaya because of overcrowding and congestion in the former. Kuala Lumpur remains as Malaysia's national capital per the constitution and is still the seat of the King of Malaysia and the parliament, as well as being the country's commercial and financial center. The establishment of Putrajaya was the idea of the then Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad. It became Malaysia's third federal territory after Kuala Lumpur in 1974 and Labuan in 1984. So basically, Putrajaya is where all our socio-economic and also our development of a country and also all the ministers work at. And it is a plan as a garden city and intelligent city. 38% of the area is reserved for green spaces in which the natural landscape is enhanced. You can see most of Putrajaya is covered with trees and everything ecologically that I really love. The environment there is very fresh. And the plan incorporated a network of open spaces and wide boulevards. Construction began in August 1995. It was Malaysia's biggest project and one of the Southeast Asia's large, just with an estimated final cost of $8.1 billion. The entire project was designed and constructed by Malaysian companies themselves, with only 10% of the materials imported. Can you imagine how big this city is and how eco-friendly it is? I believe, especially like today we are under the eco program, right? So basically, I believe that you might like Putrajaya if you come and visit it and look at it in front of your own eyes. Like these are the example of the parks in Putrajaya that I really like to visit. And then here is the convention center, one of the biggest convention center in Malaysia itself. And this is where the Prime Minister resides. His office, and also this is the overall look of Putrajaya from above. All right. Next, Legoland Malaysia, Johor Bahru. If you come to Malaysia and visit with your family, it's a very suitable place because you have, we have a theme park here, which is Legoland Malaysia. We have a lot like Sunway Lagoon, but I prefer to come to Legoland Malaysia because it is one of the biggest Southeast Asia theme park. So Legoland Malaysia Resort is Malaysia's first international theme park, which opened in Iskandar Puteri, Johor, Malaysia. As I said earlier, Iskandar Puteri is one of the Iskandar Malaysia, which is also the corridor side of Malaysia that wanted to generate the social economy even more in the future. So on 15 September 2012, with over 40 interactive rides, shows and attraction, it is the first Legoland theme park in Asia and 6th in the world upon its establishment. I am very proud to have this as well in my country. It was actually fun, especially I'm teenagers and also when I was little, my cousins we would like to go here. And the official opening of Legoland Malaysia was made by Sultan Ibrahim Ismail, Sultan of Johor, on 22nd of September. You can see there's an Einstein here. There's also like a Lego Academy where you can build a lot of things and innovation stuffs there as well if you go to Legoland. And then there's rides. I believe if you come here, you would really enjoy with your family, especially when you have kids around. Okay, so next is Aquaria KLCC. The Aquaria KLCC is an oceanarium located beneath Kuala Lumpur Convention Center, which is under the 88 floor building just now that I showed. It is within the Kuala Lumpur City Centre in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, featuring 60,000 square feet in 2 levels with a 90-meter underwater tunnel. Aquaria KLCC houses over 250 different species and over 5,000 land and aquatic animals from Malaysia and around the world. Interactive information kiosks on fish and turtle conservation. It includes a themed retail area of about 5,000 square feet. Aquaria KLCC is based on the journey of water from the land to the sea. The journey starts in the misty highlands, down through the rivers, through the rainforest and mangroves to the coral reefs into the deep blue sea. There is a large food court just outside the aquarium with many choices of food. Meaning to say, if you come here, you won't be hungry because after like all the time you're going inside there, spending hours and hours looking at the species, there's like 250 species you have to look at and like, oh my God, there's like this and that. And then your kids will be like, oh my God, mom, I'm hungry. So you can just go outside and go and grab some food. And also here, there's like a conveyor belt like where you can walk on, and then there's like fish above your head. So basically you can see shark. You can see here, like you can even touch a shark from the screen there. But it's a realistic shark, and there's even a program where you can scuba dive with the shark itself. Can you imagine scuba diving with the shark and like the stingray also especially? So yeah, it is very, someone who loves vigorous activity, but you don't like indoor, you can go outdoor, but inside the water itself, you don't have to go to the beach. You can just go inside the aquarium and experience yourself feeding the shark and stuff. All right. So next, we have the Sepilo Orangutan Rehabilitation Center. Sepilo Orangutan Rehabilitation Center is located about 25 kilometers west of Sandakan in the state of Sabah, Malaysia. Okay, the state of Sabah is located in the Borneo Island as well. We only have 2 states in the Borneo Island, in fact. The Sabah and the Sarawak. So this is in the Sabah side. So the center opened in 1964 as the first official orangutan rehabilitation project for rescued orphaned baby orangutans from lodging sites, plantations, illegal hunting, or kept as pets. The orphaned orangutans are trained to survive again in the wild and are released as soon as they are ready. The sanctuary is located within the Kabili Sepilok Forest Reserve, which covers an area of 4,294 hectares, much of which is virgin rainforest. Today, around 60 to 80 orangutans are living free in the reserve. It is believed that orangutan species are in an endangered situation right now. So basically, our country preserves them very much. As you know, we are also the tropical country, as I mentioned earlier, around the equator line itself. So we have a lot of nature around us, and we do have to conserve these animals, because animals are also beings that God created, and it's our responsibility to take care of them as well. So yeah. Next, we have Kuching, Sarawak. Yeah, this is Sarawak, another state in the Borneo side of Malaysia, as I mentioned earlier. So Kuching, Sarawak is officially the city of Kuching, is the capital and the most populous city in the state of Sarawak in Malaysia. Since there's like only two states, right? So basically there's Sarawak and Sabah. So mainly if you see majority compared to the Semenanjung side, which is the other side where I'm living right now, the population should be more, but then somehow it's equal, even though there's only two states there, and the other states, about more than 12 states are in my side. Yeah, it's a bit unique of Malaysia, the diversity there itself. So basically, it is also the capital of Kuching Division. Sarawak has a lot of division indeed. And the city is on the Sarawak River and the southwest tip of the state of Sarawak on the island of Borneo, and covers an area of 431 square kilometers with a population about 165,642 in the Kuching North Administrative Region and 159,490 in the Kuching South Administrative Region, a total of 325,132 people living in just the small city of Kuching, Sarawak. Can you imagine how many population in Malaysia it is, but it's not even crowded yet? So yeah, this is like the middle of Kuching, where we have the statue of cat. So Kuching actually means cat in Bahasa Melayu. If you want to learn Bahasa Melayu, I can teach you a little after this. So okay, this is the Kampung Budaya Sarawak. It's also, in English, it's known as Sarawak Cultural Village, where if you want to learn about the culture in Sarawak, as you know, Sarawak and Sabah is very rich with ethnics and varieties of people that you haven't discovered in the world itself. It's like, you know, in Africa, there's a lot of ethnics, right? Also in Sarawak, we have a lot of ethnics. So village is where you can learn a lot of things. I've been here. There's a lot of Sarawak ethnic houses.
Or 24 Swedish currency. Next. If you love to visit something that is related to engineering and also petroleum, I would suggest to you guys PetroScience Malaysia. So PetroScience, also known as PetroScience, the Discovery Center, is a Malaysian science and technology museum located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur within Suria KLCC Petronas Twin Tower. It is located inside the Petronas Twin Tower at the top of the level, or at the top of the floor. It is an interactive science discovery center for both children and adults, where you can see, hear, and touch, play, and interact with the exhibits and the installation. It is also quite cheap. The ticket only costs you around 20 ringgit or 56 Swedish currency. Next. If you love something that's related to astronomy, like me, I think you guys would go. I suggest you guys would go to the National Planetarium which is located in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The National Planetarium or Planetarium Negara KL is dedicated to all things related to science and astronomy. It's a fun and educational place for kids to learn about the planet and the universe. Set on Y to the east of Lake Garden, it is topped by a blue dome easily visible from nearby roads. It may not be as high-tech as other planetariums like New York or London standards, but it still merits a visit. The main entry is evocative of a teleport chamber which leads into a series of halls containing two planetariums that have interactive exhibit, touchscreen interactive computers, and hands-on experiments, plus a space theater. And it just costs around 12 ringgit overall, and I would suggest to all of you to visit planetarium. It's so cool, and I think it is worth the visit. Okay, next. So now I would pass this stage to Ishwar.
All right, thank you, Olive. So now let's look at Malaysian traditional food. Okay, on the next slide. All right, so a bit of introduction about Malaysian food. Malaysian food, of course, is very much relative of the diversity of people staying here. So as what my friend Putri has told, Malaysia is located at the Southeast Asia. Malaysia is between Thailand and Singapore, while West Malaysia is to the Sulawesi and Philippines. It doesn't take an adventurous traveler or food enthusiast to appreciate Malaysian food. There are just much to choose from, whether traditional or modern cuisines deemed to satisfy the choosiest taste buds. The staple food in Malaysia is rice, just like the other Asian countries. Due to its sunny weather all year round, fruits and vegetables are just abundance, while meat, pottery, and seafood is inexpensive and readily available all time. Malaysia food, just like its people, is divided into Malay, Chinese, and Indian, and it is prepared by their own traditional method. All right, next slide. All right, now let's look at the first culture in Malaysia, which is the Malay food. Alright, so Malay food in general is rich with herbs like lemongrass, tamarind, dried and fresh chilies, ginger, and garlic. Malay dishes can be distinguished into a few methods of cooking, namely masak merah, which is tomato sauce, masak lemak, coconut milk, masak asam, sourish tamarind, and masak pedas, spicy. Popular dishes that cannot be missed are such as nasi lemak, which is the coconut milk steamed rice, sambal belacan, shrimp paste with pounded chilies, beef rendang, dried curry, and serunding, which is beef floss. Satay or barbecue meats on the steak is originated from Malay cuisine, as present in restaurants all over the world today. Alright, next slide. Alright, here are some examples of Malaysian food. If you visit Malaysia, these are like the best food that you could actually grab here in Malaysia. So we have the first one, we have lemang, and then next we have rendang, and the middle one we have the nasi lemak, and lastly we have nasi kerabu. Next slide. Alright, next moving on to Chinese traditional food. Chinese food has been assimilated with local cuisine. In China itself, Chinese are divided into so many categories of ethnic, which is Cantonese, Hakka, Hokkien, Hainan, Teochew, and so forth. In Malaysia, Cantonese food makes the most present, which is stir fry and steaming method. Chinese dishes such as dim sum, sweet and sour dishes, char siu, sweet barbecued pork, bak kut teh, herbal soup are a few popular dishes. Steamboat are also can be found here in Malaysia, and it's really great actually. Alright, next slide. Okay, moving on. Here are some examples of Chinese foods that you can get here in Malaysia. We have the Chinese fried rice, we have wonton, mooncake, and also dim sum. Next slide. Alright, lastly we have the Indian food. Indian food on the other hand has very much integrated Northern Indian and Southern Indian cuisines when they reach Malaysian. Popular for their curries, banana leaf rice, and breads such as chapati, naan, and roti, prata in some other countries. Indian food had also been assimilated with Malay food through their mixed marriages of Indian Malay. The resultant is mamak food, which cannot be found in India itself. Examples are like the teh tarik, which is tea with milk, murtabak, and rojak, mixture of fruits with peanut sauce. Alright, here are some examples of Indian food, which is wadai, chapati, biryani, and also thosai. And next, we have some additional Malaysian food which you can get here, and it's really delicious. So firstly, we have the char kway teow, which is really popular in Penang in Malaysia. Next, we have the mee goreng. So mee goreng is basically, if the best one is actually the mamak mee goreng you can get in Malaysia. You can get it in every mamak stall in Malaysia here. And next is ais kacang, which is also known as ABC. Next, we have the laksa, and lastly, we also have rojak. All right, that's all for my part, and now I'll pass it on to Alif.
So hey, okay. So now is the time for meet the young chemists from our school, which is SMK Seri Bintang Utara. Okay, next. So what do the young chemists do? So our team of young chemists, we often conducted meetings and conferences with other countries related to the environmental issues such as the climate change. We also have a planting trees campaign. We also have talks and debates. And lastly, we also join a STEM competition that is related to plastic pollution that is currently increasing drastically due to the industrial sector all around the world. So we are actually okay. So now is for our achievement. So in 2020, which is last year, our team have joined and also conducted 8 meetings with 8 countries mentioned below regarding the issue of climate change. This is part of the SDG goal number 13, which is climate action. So we have conducted meetings with countries such as Qatar, Netherlands, with our own country, Malaysia, India, Peru, Bangladesh, Kenya, and also Vietnam. This is also to raise awareness between people, which is related to SDG goal number 13, which is climate action. So what is SDG goal? SDG goal, or also known as Sustainable Development Goal, is a global goal that a collection of 70 interlinked global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. This SDG was set up in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly and are intended to be achieved by the year 2030, which is 9 years from now. Next. So here are some of our STEM achievements. So back in the days, in 2020, we have joined BIA and we also have won. Our team have won the Best Video Award, the Best Report, and also the Rising Star Award for British International Education Association competition. We also have conducted and won Green Energy Talks somewhere in 2nd place and 3rd place. And we also have joined MYSE, which is Malaysia Young Scientists, and our team have won gold medals for the environment categories. Our group have also won various awards and medals in competitions such as DILCE, MYSCS, MIES, and many more. And lastly, our team is looking forward to continue the Young Chemistry program and other future competition. So here are some of the examples of our products, such as the chlorophyll 5. So what is our product actually? So our product such as chlorophyll 5 is a self-cleaning filter that can be controlled by using a remote control or if needed, automatically by itself by using sensors. So the function of this product is actually to filter water, filter toxic chemicals and foreign objects like garbage from getting into the river or any water sources. So this device is powered by solar power and wave energy that is suitable to be placed in factory greens, creeks, and hot areas such as the paddy field. So this would be, I would pass this to Pernil to explain about LSI 27.
Right. So basically, this is one of a remotely operated vehicle that we have invented virtually, because we can't do the prototype on hands because we have pandemic right now. So LSI 27 is a vehicle that helps to clean up mud, land, and water surfaces from plastic debris. It is an innovation dedicated to our beloved chemistry teacher, Dr. Lee Sawim. According to an environment map in an area, a path planner should be generated to map the most efficient route for cleaning plastics with optimal performance caused by planning the shortest path and with minimum repeat coverage. A web camera acts as an object tracker to detect plastic waste in the image, whereas an infrared sensor will detect the distance of object from the vehicle. The vehicle uses object recognition to approach a specific object as a target. If multiple plastics exist on the ground, the closest waste will be selected to track. The remotely operated vehicle uses a pair of robotic arms, also known as manipulators, to pick up plastic debris on land and mud, whereas on water surfaces, the conveyor belt will be activated and the plastic waste would flow up and into the container itself here. Yeah. So I guess now we've come to the end. So maybe I can open a Q&A session right now for everyone. If you have any question, please do raise up your hand and I'll call you out. And I'll pass this back to Dr. Lee for the Q&A session. Dr. Lee, I see
your mic.
I've always forgotten. Okay, thank you very much for my lovely, awesome young chemists. So dear participants, do we need to give a big clap for the young chemists? Maybe you can just turn on your camera. Okay, thank you. Putri, maybe you can please stop screen sharing. Okay, so yeah, so it's open for the Q&A. You can turn on your mic and you can ask questions. At the same time, I would like to share with you about. Okay, we can do one gallery walk. Yeah. Okay. So although we are far away, okay, but actually we can connect each other by using digitals. So now you can see on the screen. Okay, it's called Jamboard. Oh, where's my Jamboard? Just a moment.
Very interesting.
Okay, Putri, can you see the screen with the Jamboard?
Yes, sure, I can.
Okay, so this is called the Jamboard. So now, just now I already put some message in the chat box. Okay, I think some of our educators or our friends know how to use a Jamboard. So this Jamboard is like it's a frame. I already shared the link. You can click the link. You can use handphone or whatever. Just click the link, and then you need to use your email only. Okay, as you go in, you will go into this frame number 1. Okay, if you see frame number 1 is full, then you can go up here, click this one, and then you move to the second frame. Okay, so if you're using your handphone, you should get this appearance. Okay, so like here, you can click the pen. Okay, this is the pen here. You can click and write something, and you actually can change the color as well. Okay, you can change color. If you don't want this, you can rub it. Okay, if you are very good in drawing, you can take this and draw. Okay, so here I would like to invite all the participants. You can take this sticky note. Okay, this is a sticky note. You can put your name. For example, I put down my name, Lee Sawim. Okay, I'm from Malaysia, right? Malaysia. Okay, so I invite you to put down your full name so that we can give you the certificates according to your name. Okay, and then we like to hear from you. After you write this, maybe you can give some comments to give some motivation to my young chemists. So if you don't like yellow, you might probably write pink color. You can choose the pink or you can choose the blue and you just save it. Okay, lovely. So after this one, you just cancel this one, then this thing is here. So if you think that, oh, this is too small, I want to make it bigger, yeah, you can drag here. Okay. Now, beside that, you also can add photo. Okay. So let's say you are using the handphone. When you click, you can see all these 3. So you want to add on, you just click at this plus sign. When you click the plus sign, you can see this. Okay, you can see this one. Then you can choose either you want to put in sticky note, yeah, or maybe you can put some your photo from your drive, or you just click this one, camera. Okay, just take selfies and you can put your photo here. Okay, you like to see that many people. Okay, the frame 1 is condensed already. Then you move to the frame number 2 and frame number 3 and so on. Yeah, and you write some comment here. Okay, besides you use the sticky note, you also can use text. Okay, if you use this one, text box. Okay, for example, I take this one and then I can type my name also. Okay, I can just type my name. Okay, maybe it could be better you use all capital Okay, I can type my name, Sawim, and I can tell you I'm from Malaysia, right? Okay, and then yes, maybe you can give some comments. Congratulations. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. So now let's say, for example, I go to this next page. Okay, so if, for example, you can put image, you can add image. For example, you can upload or you can go to the Google. Okay, for example, I would like to show you about KL, Malaysia. Okay, you can just type KL. Maybe I will type KL Tower. Okay, I would like to show you my famous place. Beside the KLCC Tower, I can show you the KL Tower. Okay, this is our lovely KL Tower. Okay, for example, I would like to take this. Okay, so you just click and insert. Then here you go. Okay, so now this is the place I want to bring you to. Okay, to KL Tower. Beside this, I also would like to bring you to another places in Malaysia which is very famous. But okay, very nice temple. Yeah, this temple is very, very nice. Okay, just new renovate. It's very nice. You can click here and have a look. Okay, click there and insert. Okay, so this is another one. And I would like to introduce you some Malaysia's fruits. Okay, so you just type whatever you want. Yeah, okay, so you can see here are lovely fruits from Malaysia. For example, this is our famous fruit, which is called durian. Okay, durian. Okay, I will have some. Okay, for example, I would like to show you. This is called rambutan. Very nice taste fruits. Okay, beside that, might be some others. For example, okay, this is I think quite common. Okay, and maybe for example, like yeah, this is also very lovely food from Malaysia. Okay, so all the participants, okay, you please click the link and come into our ETC Visit Malaysia Jamboard, and you can put down. Okay, thank you. I guess this is from Madam Ikan. Okay, thank you. Okay, you put down your full name, and also your country, and maybe you write some comments to our to give some comments, motivation to our young chemists. Okay. Okay, so frame 1 is too conjuncted already. You can move to the second frame, third frame, and so on. Okay, you can choose any frame you like here. Okay, at the same time, okay, I also invite you to turn on your, stop sharing. I will invite you to, okay, there's someone raise up your hand. Okay, Chitra, okay, you have something to ask?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes.
I would like to say, at first, it's really absolutely amazing presentation. I like your students' enthusiasm. I like when the students, the young people, they really present their thoughts, their ideas in this presentation. It's absolutely amazing. And the second, I would like to ask, like, is it difficult for you to practice together? Because I know that I think one person from your student, I think he is from different nationality. Because young people, it's hard for them to have like a solid collaboration. How these 3 students, they have a solid presentation, like they know when it's time their turn to speak.
Okay,
I think it's an amazing teacher because we see so here. So I'd like to hear the explanation. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a magic. Actually, it's a magic. So I will let my student to tell you the story behind the scenes. Okay, Putri, maybe you want to say something.
Interesting indeed. So basically, for my school, especially Dr. Lee's classes, we usually practice doing presentation a lot. Not only this presentation, I mean, whenever we study. So basically, we are used to it. So basically, we know where our part. Like, if we feel comfortable, okay, maybe like, okay, you take this part, and we don't really have any script. We just directly talk about it in our own opinion and our perspective. From our own mind, because we are very, how to say, we practice well in class, so we adapt it whenever we talk to outside people as well. So yeah.
Yeah, Ishwa, maybe you want to add on?
Yeah, as what Putri told, we always like do this kind of session quite frequently, especially Puan Lee invite us to give talks to like other countries and stuff. So I think we did so much of practice, and we actually like managed to do I hope it was a great presentation for all of you. So yeah, that's all from me. Yeah.
Okay, Alif?
I think it's basically the same as what my friends have said. Because we often joined all these kind of programs. Like, we often conducted like meetings with other countries. So the collaboration is not really a problem, since we can discuss most of the activity and the agenda and the tentative online. So yeah.
Okay, so I would like to add on and share this knowledge in the teaching and learning knowledge to maybe some educators over here. So it's actually the student, they are learning by doing. So all this is their normal routine, the practice. So at first they are nervous. Okay, never mind. I say, if you don't have the first step, you will not have the second steps. So once you have the first step, then the second step and third step are coming on. So slowly, they pick out the skills. Okay, so I always tell them, you are the 21st century students. You should achieve the 21st century students' characteristic. So one of them is very important, is they must have that 4C skills, like communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Okay, so these are the elements that always make them have this practice in my classroom as well. Okay, so maybe Winnie, you want to have anything to say? Winnie from Taiwan.
Yeah. Oh wow! Yeah. Sorry, I just I just jump in. I didn't join the presentation from the beginning, but I joined in the middle. I saw lots of places from your ambassador, and also I love the way you introduced the. I think it's a science center, right? So I think definitely if I will go to Malaysia, I will bring my family to visit there to become a chemist or scientist. So I think that's a really good angle and perspective to promote the country. And definitely I would like to go to Malaysia to try this science experiments. Yeah, I think they are as brilliant as you, Dr. Lee.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for presenting your country in this way, and it's a different perspective to promote. Yeah, so it's a new, and also it's an in-depth. It's in-depth of Malaysia.
Okay, thank you. I see this Min Maya, you have question to ask? Miss Min Maya, you can turn on your mic. Maybe we have our, I think my friend, sorry if I read your name wrongly, Ikaterin.
Hello everyone.
Yes.
From Georgia. Your presentation was amazing. You have a very beautiful country, but you students are so good, and they are present. I see they love their country very much. Thank you, my dears. I teach history and civic. I love all of you because you love your country and you love our home. This air of our home, and thank you for it. Thank you, all of you. Great.
Okay, thank you for the motivations, supports for my young chemists and for young ambassadors. Okay, anyone else would like to interact with my students? Yeah. Okay, so that can give them chance to learn how to communicate, how to deliver their ideas to adults and then to the foreigners. Yeah. Okay. Have you put down your name and comments in the Jamboard? Okay, Ekaterine, you want to ask something?
I wrote in Gem box something. My name's a name and my school name, and thank you all of you. Thank you for your smile, for a beautiful smile, for so great communication. I love you really so. Thank you, my dears. Welcome to Georgia. Thank you.
Yes, from Georgia. Okay. Maybe Dr. Hassan, you want to conclude this sharing?
Yeah, really, I'd like to thank you for this wonderful and creative presentation by your students. It's a new and innovative way of presenting. Maybe this is the 10th presentation, but this is a creative one and especially distinguished because it's done by young scientists from Malaysia. In the beginning, I wanted to go Malaysia soon, but now I want to go now because I saw a lot of places. Yeah,
Yes.
and I hope we could organize like an eco tour to Malaysia soon.
Yeah, you're most
greeting
welcome.
greeting from Sweden and Egypt. Yeah, and looking forward to see you in more programs in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan. Dr. Hassan. Okay, so I think it's almost towards the end. So before we end, again, I would like to invite all the participants. Can you give support to my student and turn on your camera? We would like to have one sweet memory for my student. Actually, this year is their final year in high school. So after that, I will miss them and they also will miss me. Okay, so can we give them?
Yeah, there's a high school. Wow.
Yeah, high school. Okay.
they look like
Yes.
college, university already.
No.
They are so good.
Okay. Can you give them support and turn on your camera? I would like to take one photo for the sweet memory for this young chemist. Okay. Yeah, you might take your time. Okay, I can see. Yes. Yes, I can. Yes.
My voice.
Yeah. You can just. Yeah.
Yes, are you listening my voice?
Yes, can. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Miss Minmaya, I can hear you. You can continue. Oh, still got people coming in. From Mexico, do you have anything to say? Marina from Mexico.
Was a beautiful presentation, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, those turn on the camera. Okay, look at the camera. Say a bit these people. Okay, say cheese. 1, 2, smile. Okay, one more time. Say cheese.
Good job.
Okay, last one. We have can we have freestyle? Any style, free one. Okay, any style. Right. Okay. So I would like to congratulate all the participants and thank you. You already safely visit Malaysia from the north part is the Kedah, to the south is the Johor, and the west we have Sabah and Sarawak. Okay, now is the time I need to send you back to your hometown so that you will have home sweet home. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone.
See you next time, inshallah.
Okay, you can find your certificate. You can find your certificate in the
Thank you
ETC
so
Facebook.
much.
Okay, so maybe I would like to share with you one how to say thank you in Malay. Okay, thank you in Malay is terima kasih. Can everyone say one?
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Yes.
Terima kasih.
Okay, and then if you say terima kasih, I would like to say, I need to say welcome, right? Welcome in Malay is called sama-sama. Okay.
Sama-sama.
Yes.
Ini kasih.
Then say bye-bye when we want to goodbye is basically selamat jalan.
Bye.
From South Africa.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Bini.